here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
That is right, my friends. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Email, as you well know or should know by this point in time, is Todd, that's my first name, at toddhuffshow.com. And you can email me there, your thoughts, opinions, questions, feedback, adoration, and praise. Just make it count is all I ask. Again, Todd at toddhuffshow.com. So Facebook has an anonymous review board that is designed, or I guess tasked, with the responsibility of saving our democracy from former President Donald J. Trump. Just let that sink in. They've got now we know who the 20 board members are, which sounds like a group of radical leftists, Soros approved, from around the world, some here domestically. If all 20 were given the opportunity to vote for President Trump, do you think one of those folks would have sorry, just the notion of this makes me chuckle. Do you think one of those individuals would have voted for President Donald J. Trump? So then they take the 20 board members, and they have 5 of them. They won't tell us which 5. They look into Trump's ban on Facebook. They look into this to see if it was done correctly. Did Zuckerberg do the right things in the days following the January 6th events at the nation's capital, the insurrection, as the media and the radical left like to tell us? Look, what happened January 6th, insofar as it pertains to what happened at the Capitol, the storming of the Capitol, not the protests. What happened January 6th at the Capitol was illegal. It was, they broke the law. They need to face the consequences of that. There are some questions and that also are worthy of being answered, as there are with any events like this. But the things that happened there were not good. But to say it was an insurrection, the way that the left builds this up to make it look like they're fighting to save our republic against, it's utterly absurd. It is utterly absurd to make it, and there were lives that were lost, and that's always terrible. But to make it out as some sort of attempt to truly overthrow our government, really, is that really what they're portraying this to be? But nonetheless, Trump's on social media, and he actually, if you remember the video, they even cite this in their ruling. But they cite in their ruling to uphold Zuckerberg's decision to kick Trump off indefinitely off their platform. Trump told folks to go home and to be peaceful. He also said, "I love you." That's the part that they don't like. That, they say, is some sort of, I guess, a dog whistle to wink, wink, I like what you did. But it seems at least possible, if not more likely, much more likely, but I'm just from the perspective of a radical, you should at least be open to the possibility that what he was saying was that those who came out to the Capitol, to D.C. in general, and even those that went to the Capitol who didn't storm the Capitol, which that was some people as well, that Trump appreciated the support. He wasn't saying go in there and be lawless and burn it down. In fact, it's usually folks on the other side, if those idiotic words are stated. Remember I just remember some of the other protests in D.C. Remember the old church, the historic church that was on fire? Remember that? That wasn't because of Trump supporters, but that's not a big deal. We gloss over that as, random people out there in an otherwise peaceful protest who decided to do something that broke the law. That's how the riots that are run by the left are portrayed. But does it sound very democratic to you to have a group of 20 that we know who the 20 are, but then they have a secret group of 5 within the 20? They don't tell us which 5 are going to study this for months. I mean, by the way, that's the other thing. What are we? That was 4 months ago. 4 months to review Donald Trump's social media posts to determine. I know these folks are busy, but 4 months, this should take 4 minutes. 4 months to come to a conclusion here. And we're supposed to believe, you're supposed to believe, I'm supposed to believe that this group of 5 anonymous people met in a closed room for hours, weeks, even months, closed the door, were stroking their chin, were trying so hard to find a way to justify letting the former president of the United States have his Facebook account back, Instagram accounts. Oh, they were just, struggling over this. Finally, they get together, make a full recommendation to the board, to the 20. The board takes that recommendation, and then we're told that a majority of the board supported their recommendation, which was to continue the ban of former President Trump on Facebook. But they don't tell us the vote. Was it 11-9? Was it 20-0? Again, I just find it peculiar that a group at Facebook designed to make sure there's no false information on their platform, and this is Instagram as well, but to make sure that no one on their platform is spreading misinformation so as to mislead Americans and undermine our democracy, operates in so much secrecy. We don't know who's on the group. We don't know how anyone voted. We don't know why they decided. Truly, I mean, we see some maybe talking points. We don't know why they decided to uphold the ban. But we're supposed to trust that they are making these decisions in order to fight for our democracy. This is to be praised and cheered, according to the left, as these folks are meeting in silent, meeting anonymously, making decisions. I mean, it's a remarkable thing. It really is. And people, cheer this. They think it's a great thing. Oh, my goodness. And then, meanwhile, Trump says, forget all that. I'm just going to come up with my own platform, which he announced, the day before this ruling was issued, which is brilliant as well. That's one thing Trump is a master of. He knows how to stay in the news cycle. He knows how to remain relevant. Now, granted, his voice is dramatically diminished now that he's not president. But in comparison to other presidents who leave office, of course, the circumstances were different. The fact that he only served one term is different than many, right? Many presidents. The last one-term president was George H.W. Bush. He was defeated by Clinton in 1992. And before that, Jimmy Carter. But, many presidents, there's a lot of people who have only known presidents who've served 2 terms. Clinton, Obama, Bush. Not in that order, Clinton, Bush, Obama, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so Facebook has upheld this. Trump says, I'm starting my own. So it's not really social media. It's called From the Desk of Donald Trump, and he's just going to put his videos and messages and press releases and statements and that sort of thing on there, which he's done plenty of, which there are some that he's put out there even in the past couple of days about Liz Cheney, about the Supreme Court, about this Facebook situation. But Trump's going to continue to be out there talking about this, of course, promoting his own platform. And people who are part of that platform many are making decisions. Do I want to continue to be a part of this? Do I want social media to be a dominant part of my life? It's amazing the differences. Some people live and breathe on Facebook, and many of you might. Other folks that hear my voice right now don't have a social media account at all. Some people have an account and they just maybe poke their head in there to see what's going on, see what the price of milk is, or who won the latest state baseball championship, or whatever it is that people do, which is fine. I'm just saying. And then there's just a variety of people, use it to connect with people, use it in good ways. Some people waste hours of time on there. Some people, read stuff and learn stuff and connect with people, good and bad. But a lot of folks are, these things matter, I think, to some people anyway. They ask themselves, is this really the direction that, is this really an organization that we want to be a part of? Republicans are out there saying maybe it's time to break up Facebook using antitrust laws and so forth. If they're deliberately silencing people and political ideas, that's not what this is designed for. Clarence Thomas has recently spoken about Facebook's unique position, saying that they are in many ways more like a utility than they are, just another general company, especially when people use it to engage in speech. And you've got Section 230 and all these different issues. You've got Florida, by the way. Florida passed a law. I saw this in townhall.com. Florida passes a law that, as the headline here says in Town Hall, prevents woke social media from muzzling politicians. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis promised to end this woke nonsense, says the article, written by Matt Vespa, Town Hall. Surrounding social media bans, Donald Trump has been purged from Facebook and Twitter, and that was when he was still president. Which, let that sink in, by the way. The leader of the free world was banned. So to prevent politicians from being muzzled, Florida has passed a law that would ban these companies from enacting bans. He put big tech on notice this February, and now it's here. And this is DeSantis, this is the bill passed by the House and Senate in Florida, voted and then signed by DeSantis. Here's a summary of that. The Florida House and Senate voted this week to pass legislation that would prohibit social media companies from banning politicians. Fines for social media companies that try to ban politicians from their platforms could add up to $250,000 a day. Well, that's chump change for Facebook, but nonetheless. For statewide politicians, and $25,000 a day for other elected officials, the Sun Sentinel reported. The bill, which still allows for politicians to be suspended for 2 weeks and for individual posts to be taken down if they violate the company's policies, is now headed to Republican Governor Ron DeSantis. That's how that news outlet summarized the legislation. And so DeSantis is signing this thing, and that's one way to deal with this. Now you've got the whole, the legal avenues that come from this, but you've also, as I said, have Republicans in the U.S. Congress who are talking about, now granted, there's no majority, especially in the House I say especially, there's a bigger gap there in the House than there is in the Senate even, but Republicans and there's the filibuster in the Senate as well, but the idea that they can do something with this seems unlikely because Democrats in Congress, in the Senate and the House, are quite content with the outcome of having their political opponents having a voice on social media. Of course, they'll cite the violence on January 8th and how we can't have anyone who, as they will portray it, condones that, which Trump did not condone it, but that's what they'll say because he said, "We love you." Again, context is king, but this is what they'll say. We shouldn't have a president of the United States or anyone, former president, current president, anyone out there that's condoning the violence. This has to be done for our safety. This has to be done to save our democracy. Insurrection was caused by Facebook. Of course, we know that Facebook, that a lot of this planning was done beforehand, and that Facebook was used more than other social media channels. Remember, some of these other channels were punished tremendously. Parler, for example, Gab. Facebook didn't. For some reason, it was all Parler's fault. For another reason, Facebook bore no responsibility whatsoever. This thing was said to have been a spontaneous riot or insurrection, but there was planning that took place. That was ignored because that seemed to go against the narrative that Trump incited it during his speech moments before, hours before the riot actually happened at the Capitol. Anyway, this is important stuff. This is important stuff, and this is the sort of thing. This is the sort of thing that happens when countries begin to move away from free debate, free exchange of ideas, from liberty itself into something much more heinous, much more wicked and evil. You know, I was taught when I was a student that free speech, if you're really a defender, an ardent defender of free speech, you'll actually defend the speech you even disagree with. Now defending free speech means that you silence free speech. Now, this is not rational and logical or constitutional, but nonetheless, this is what they'll tell you. If you silence free speech, you're really the warrior for democracy. You are a social justice warrior for our democracy. Quick timeout is in order, a little bit long. This segment, you're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter CHWEINC.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279. Or visit them at economyheatingandair.com. Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Welcome back. So, I saw this yesterday, and I don't know. We didn't have time, and I don't know. I just didn't really want to talk about it, I guess, just with the time that we had. But have you seen this picture of the Bidens with former President Jimmy Carter and former First Lady Rosalynn Carter? Have you seen this picture? This thing, I don't understand how a group of people whose entire existence revolves around political optics, how in the world does this picture get published? This is the weirdest looking picture I can remember seeing. It literally looks like Rosalynn Carter, who I believe they say is 5'5". And I understand optics and how lenses and flashes can affect how something looks in an image. And I've read articles about this as well. It looks like Rosalynn Carter could take a piggyback ride on Joe Biden. Actually, it almost looks like he could put her in his pocket, if I'm being candid here. It is a bizarre looking picture. It looks like either Biden is 9'8" or Rosalynn Carter is the size of a 10, 8, 9-year-old, something like that. Jimmy Carter next to Jill Biden looks not quite as bizarre, but still close to equally as bizarre. And I don't understand how something like this gets published. It just looks weird, and there's people out there trying to explain this. You know, the flash that was used eliminates shadows, so you really can't. Shadows are one way that we use to gauge depth, and so Biden is much closer to the camera than is Rosalynn Carter. It just looks really bizarre to me, and if you haven't seen it, it is worth looking at just to get a little bit of a chuckle, because it looks like, again, the Bidens are either giants or the Carters have, and they're older, and people lose a little bit of height as they age, but that cannot possibly explain this. But that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like, and again, for a group of people that are so interested in showing Joe Biden in his aviators, right? To show Joe Biden in slow motion with some cool music, walking in front of the White House, or jogging, or playing with his dog, or whatever. Not, of course, the instance where he grabbed his dog's tail and broke his foot somehow. But I just don't understand this. It looks really bizarre, and I have gotten more chuckles out of this than maybe I should have, because it is really something to see if you haven't seen it. And again, I mean, it's just a picture. It just looks so wrong. I don't know how it got past the image makers in the Biden administration and his team. It just looks so odd. So odd. Anyway, want to talk a little bit here, and I'll go ahead and start before the break. But we talked about yesterday the Chauvin juror. We talked about reports that of a T-shirt that he had worn prior to being selected, which again, it's just a T-shirt. But on the other hand, you're wearing a T-shirt with a reference to knees. It says "Get your knees off our necks," which is of course a direct reference to George Floyd and Derek Chauvin. Now you're selected to be a juror on that trial. You're not supposed to have any preconceived ideas as far as, you can't have avoided hearing about the case, especially if you lived in Minneapolis prior to jury selection. But the amount that you knew, the amount that you researched, whether or not you were engaging in protests, if you were out there, basically saying definitively that the officer broke the law and should go to jail, then you probably shouldn't be on the jury. Likewise, if you're out there saying what he did was totally justifiable and, he was justified in doing it, period, then you probably shouldn't have been on the jury. Juries require people who haven't made up their minds yet. And so it's there's been a little bit more, in fact, that's come out about this. He was on a radio show or a podcast, something here called Get Up Mornings with Eric Campbell. And she asked him some questions, and he said some things that are further disturbing about the process, or I guess the mentality here of what was going on in his mind and the rationale and the reasoning for wanting to be on the jury. And we're dangerously close. Again, I'm sure that no judge ever wants to declare a mistrial. Well, no judge that's worth his or her weight doesn't want to just randomly declare a mistrial. You want to run a trial so that you're not being inefficient with taxpayer dollars. You want to run a trial that's fair to the defendant and that gives the prosecution every opportunity within the rules of the law and the legal system to present their case. And when there's times that the prosecution wants to do something that's prohibited, say from the fruit of the poisonous tree, from a search warrant that was conducted, a search that was conducted without a warrant, for example, just as an example, then you withhold or don't allow the presentation of that evidence, or just make sure that things are done by the letter of the law, giving the defense every opportunity to defend himself or herself, and giving the prosecution the chance to present the evidence as it is allowed by law, and to try to keep bias and outside influence from affecting your jury and all this sort of stuff, making sure the jurors understand their role, explain the charges, explain the process, and then let them do their thing. And so, but we're dangerously close now. We're dangerously close to a judge deciding that this is a mistrial because of this stuff. And I'm going to reference some of what he said on the other side of the break. But we've got to get there here in just a moment. So sit tight as we get through this break. We'll continue discussing these latest developments in the Chauvin verdict with one of these jurors after the break. So be back here in just a minute.
Stay on top of the nonsense our colleges are subjecting students to today by listening to Todd's monthly interview series with Matt Lamb, assistant editor of The College Fix. Listen at toddhuffshow.com/college. Brought to you by Apprentice University. With so many societal changes, everyone's talking about apprenticeships and college debt. Businesses seek employees with practical problem-solving skills. Visit apprentice.university to learn about our demanding academics and paid apprenticeships in excess of tuition. No debt, in-demand skills, Christian community.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit BlakeHornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats. Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Flooded basement, failed sump pump. Water damage happens fast this time of year. For 38 years now, Hayes & Sons has been restoring water damage in Indiana homes and businesses. They'll help you navigate your insurance claim and get your life back on track. So when a water disaster strikes, tell your insurance agent you want Hayes & Sons for your restoration work. Visit hayesandSons.com/Todd for more information. Welcome back. So I'll tell you that we are always looking for ways to continue to grow, and we're grateful for those in the audience here for helping us grow and reach new people, and for downloading the podcast, for listening to us on Freedom 95, sharing it on social media, all that stuff, and so exploring some ways that we might be able to expand our reach. And I'm telling you this because yesterday I was sitting down with one of our longtime advertisers at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. I was sitting down with Jod and telling him about just a pretty unique opportunity that's been made available to us that we're looking at, that I think if you listen to this program, I think you'd be interested in what we've got potentially coming down the line here. But so I was talking with him about that, and I just wanted to tell you that we get to know the folks. I know the majority of the folks, the vast majority of the folks that advertise here on our program in economy, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. And Jod, I deal with Jod, one of the owners there. Just a great guy, great company. And if you're looking, as you look up down the horizon here, we're in early May. You know the summer's coming. You may be worried about your air conditioning being able to do the job. Maybe it just needs service. Maybe it's time to consider another system. I don't know. But whatever the case may be, if you're thinking about your system and are concerned about it, consider reaching out to our friends at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. You can find out more information by visiting their website, economyheatingandair.com, or by calling them 317-831-5279, 317-831-5279. As with all of our advertisers, be sure to tell them that you heard about them on our show. And I appreciate the support that you give to our advertisers. So before the break, we were talking about just this latest development with the juror on the Derek Chauvin trial. And he's worn this shirt. His name's Brandon Mitchell, Juror 52. I'm looking at an article here at Red State. Nick, I've lost my place here. Chauvin juror admits he was at D.C. protest, makes more concerning statements. I previously reported about the problematic comments of Brandon Mitchell, Juror 52, in the trial of Derek Chauvin and the death of George Floyd. Mitchell appeared on Get Up Mornings with the show with Erica Campbell on April 27th. Mitchell spoke about his experience on the jury. During the interview, Campbell said that many aren't all that eager to do jury duty, which is true. People aren't necessarily eager to serve on a jury. She asked him about what message he would leave people about saying yes to jury duty. And this is what he said. He says this, I mean, it's important if we want to see some change. We want to see some things going different. We got to get out there. We get into these avenues, get into these rooms to try to spark some change. Jury duty is one of those things. Jury duty, voting, all of those things we got to do. Folks, this is really beginning to be problematic. You don't serve on a jury for the purpose of making some sort of larger change. In fact, I saw a quote yesterday in an email from Ben Shapiro, and it is spot on correct. And it said that social justice is the polar opposite or the enemy or the antithesis of, one of those phrases, of due process. And he's right. Social justice says we have a big problem in America, let's just say with this example with police brutality. And so I want to make a point. I want to cause some societal change. I think that police are doing whatever it is wrong. I don't want to get into necessarily the specifics because then emotions get involved, but police are doing this wrong. So when I'm called as a juror, I'm going to go in there with the intent to put an end to it. Wait a minute. Derek Chauvin is charged with specific things, specific crimes, and he's been convicted by a jury of his peers for specific crimes. He has to be guilty based upon his involvement. Anything else that happened, any other name that is mentioned, courts and defense attorneys go to extraordinary lengths to make sure that you're not influenced by anything other than the facts of the case. In fact, when I was on the jury, the prosecution played a tape of an interview with the defendant, and they forgot to edit out part of a phrase that, or a term he had said in his interview, and he said it multiple times because it just came up during questioning and during the conversation, and they were supposed to take it out, and it was in there multiple times, and they missed one of them. And as soon as that happened, they dismissed us early for lunch. The judge said, you're going to have a long lunch. We got to figure something out here. We didn't really know exactly what was going on. And then when we got back, we were given specific instructions as to disregard that term. That was not supposed to be there. That should not impact our decision. I think the term was, it was a drug or something pertaining to drug paraphernalia or something. I don't even remember the exact term now. But the judge specifically stopped everything and was, the defense was trying to get a mistrial declared. He said, no, I'm going to instruct them that is not to be part of their decision. It was said one time. They're mature adults. They can understand. But you don't want to be convicting this guy of another crime is the point, because he had a problem with drugs. Some people think, oh, here we go. Just someone that has a drug problem, therefore they've committed another crime, right? I mean, that's how some people think that way sometimes, and they say that's not part of the evidence. That really is not part of the case at all. That shouldn't be considered. So why on earth should you consider what happened in the case of Derek Chauvin? Why should the other incidents that Black Lives Matter will protest, or the other names that they mentioned in, having suffered similar fates as BLM would argue at the hands of police officers, unjustifiably killed for whatever reason. They don't even get in necessarily to the reasons. They just say this person, this person, this person. What does it have to do with Derek Chauvin? And so now this guy's saying that you get into the jury room, you become a juror to spark this change. So now is Officer Chauvin is part of the evidence in this juror's mind? What happened in another case? This is really, really inexcusable and dangerous. And again, we are literally on the threshold of this potentially. I mean, again, I guarantee they don't want to have to do this, but at some point, reason and logic demand that you have to seriously consider the possibility that this is a mistrial if we get, maybe even at this level, I don't know. I'm not predicting it will happen. I'm just saying this is the sort of thing that causes judges to have to look at this and say, I can't allow this to be the case. This is not, they didn't really, maybe the verdict would have been the same, but this is not part of this shouldn't have been part of their decision making. Now they're out there publicly saying this stuff, at least one of them. So, quick timeout is in order. You're listening here to Conservative, Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
Know someone looking for a fun summer job? We're now hiring lifeguards around the Indianapolis area. Make a difference while meeting new people. Build your teamwork skills and spend time outdoors. We offer lifeguard certification classes. To find out more, go to indianapolis-pmg.com and choose the lifeguarding menu option. That's indianapolis-pmg.com.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Welcome back, my friends. By the way, this program brought to you in part by R&R Products. R&R Products, located here locally in Danville, just a little bit west of Indianapolis. Family owned and operated, have hardwood, laminate, vinyl, carpet, tile floor products, much more. Pricing is really good as well. In fact, I encourage you, if you're looking for flooring, to check them out, randrproducts.com. And is spelled out, randrproducts.com. See what they have to offer. Even if you just want to get a comparable quote on flooring you've been looking at elsewhere, encourage you to look at the folks at R&R. Check out their website. Located here locally in Danville. I think you'll find their prices are, I really think, second to none. So check them out, randrproducts.com. So, just a couple other things here as the time is ticking away here. But this juror also, Mr. Mitchell, told the Star Tribune that so you have to answer a questionnaire, and then the attorneys ask you questions prior to being selected as a juror. And he appears to have not given completely thorough or correct answers in his application. So, for example, or his questionnaire, I should say. For example, he said that the march in D.C. that he attended, which he attended this march in D.C., he said it was 100% not a march for George Floyd, even though you can go and look on social media, as Red State pointed out here, they were calling this the Get Your Knee Off Our Necks protest. Many outlets, that's what now it was called the March on Washington, but many were referring to it as the Get Your Knee Off Our Necks protest, which of course also was like his shirt. Lots of other just problematic things. This is the sort of stuff that cannot get into our criminal justice system in our jury rooms, but this is where we are. So, gotta take a break. Come back and wrap up. Back here in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's conservative, not bitter university is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Not again! There's never any hot water left for my shower. Everyone else gets a nice long soak and I'm left with ice water. I'm calling Commercial Service about their latest offer on tankless water heaters. I can save up to $800 on an installation. No more cold showers for me.
Call the partner you can trust. Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service. Commercial grade service for your home.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME.
Quality glass windows and doors add value to your home or commercial space. At White's Innovative Glass, our family-owned and operated company will work with you to ensure we understand your vision before we begin. And if you don't have a vision, we can help with that too. We proudly stand behind our work and look forward to your call. Right now, we're offering 15% off your next project. Visit our website at whitesinnovativeglass.com/Todd.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200,
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
So to clarify here, in the waning moments, this juror went to D.C. Now, it was officially a remembrance march for Martin Luther King Jr., but it was also referred to as the Get Your Knees Off Our Necks March, and that's where he wore the T-shirt, BLM T-shirt, that specifically said, Get Your Knees Off Our Neck, had a picture of Martin Luther King in the middle, and the words went around the picture and said BLM under. And he said in his questionnaire he did not participate in protests. So I got to go. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.